guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. Y'all like my new backdrop? I've been waiting for this to come in. That's why I was in another room, because I was like, I'm kind of getting tired of the old backdrop, so I have a new one. You like it? It's a little bit brighter, I think. I like the glitter. I think it looks nice. So for today's video, I thought I would do another all about my blah 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 piercing video, because I'm getting a little bit itchy for a new piercing, and so I believe my mom and I are gonna try and get our daith/doth done this weekend. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I honestly don't know which one is the correct one. I think a lot of piercers do say the doth. I honestly don't know. I pronounce it how it's spelled, so daith. But if that's incorrect, I'm really sorry. Either way, it's a cute piercing. I've been wanting it for a while, but I have been a little bit of a chicken shit. Please excuse my cat. He really wanted to be in this video. There he is in all his fatness. There he is. Hi. He's like, no, Mom. So in honor of possibly getting a new piercing this weekend, I thought I would talk about a piercing that I've had for several months. I haven't had it for a year yet. Whether it's completely healed or not remains to be seen. I think it is. I haven't had to like full on clean it for a while, so I think it is healed. But anyway, the piercing that I will be talking about is my tragus piercing. This little tiny dude right here. I will say that next to my septum piercing, it was probably the most painful piercing, but not because of the reasons you would think. I mean, it is a thick piece of cartilage, but for me, if you look at my, the area where the tragus piercing happens, it is very tiny compared to most people. I'll do a close-up shot so you can see just how tiny the tragus area on me is. Alright, so I don't know how in focus it is, but as you can see, my tragus is pretty tiny. And that jewelry I have in right now is pretty much covering the whole surface. Y'all see that? Y'all see that shiz? Yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny AF. So I thought I would talk about it because I know a lot of people really like the tragus piercing. A lot of people are kind of scared of it because it is in a weird spot. It does take a little bit of finagling to get it, but it's one of my favorites. I would say I'm really glad that I got it done. I thought for sure that my tragus would be too small and I wouldn't be able to get it done, but lo and behold, I was able to get it done. That's actually a fear I have, is that my daith/doth is going to be too small and that I'm not going to be able to get it done. Because I do want it on this side. I have a lot going on in this ear. I'm down one piercing in this one, so I think this is a good ear to get that one done in. But this video is not about that piercing, it is about the tragus. So let me just talk about my experience with my tragus piercing. So to start it off, my mom and I have been looking at getting our tragus piercing done for a while. As I've mentioned in other videos, when I get a piercing, my mom gets a piercing. Usually it's the same piercing except for one time when she got her nostril done and I got my septum done, because I already had my nostril done. Even though I'm thinking about a double nostril now. That's for another time. For all of our piercings, we've always gone to the same place near the city, or in the city where I live near. I do speak English, I promise. But one day I was home back in my hometown and a nearby tattoo shop was doing a buy one get one free piercing. Well, we weren't gonna pass that up when we weren't doing anything that day, so we trekked it on down there, and apparently everyone else trekked it on down there too, because it was a long wait. I would say we got there maybe around 1-ish. And we didn't leave until like 6-ish. It was a long flippin' time. We were both hungry and grumpy by the end, but I guess that's what you can expect with one of those kinds of deals that goes on. because everyone else was there and they only had one piercer for that. So it was a long day. So anyway, people were coming in, they were getting all sorts of piercings. There were some that were taking longer than others just because the person getting the piercing wouldn't like settle down for it to happen. There was like one guy, he was getting his tongue pierced, and he kept freaking out. And so, you know, they'd pull his tongue out, they'd mark it, and then he'd like start salivating everywhere, and then he'd like suck his tongue back in, but his tongue needed to be dry, and then it would take the mark off, and then it was a hot mess. I felt so bad for that kid. He eventually did get his tongue pierced, because once it was done, he like kept drooling everywhere. They had to get him like a towel, not just a paper towel, but like a towel to like hold under his mouth because he was just salivating everywhere. It was disgusting. Again, I felt so bad for the kid, but at the same time, I'm like, you should kind of expect that from a tongue ring. And then there was one girl who was getting her nipples pierced, and then she was freaking out. I actually think she was part of the group that the guy getting his tongue pierced was in. Because it was a bunch of like high school kids and a bunch of, you know, young adults in there, and then there was my mom and I, and we were just like, yeah, about that. There was another mom and her daughter in there as well, but her daughter was like in her teens, so I'm sitting there going like, yeah, 20s. But yeah, so anyway, when it finally did come time for my mom and I to get ours done, I remember I was flip-flopping back and forth. I was like, well, I don't know if I want my tragus or if I want my, what was my other option? I think I was just gonna get another helix. I wasn't quite sure. And so I asked the piercer, I was like, is my tragus too small? And she's like, no, I got a small one too, and it's perfectly fine. You just have to work with it a little bit more, but it's completely doable. So I was like, all right, we'll do the tragus. So as with all piercings that my mom and I get, I always make my mom go first so I can gauge her reaction. See if she like squints at all, or if she makes a noise or makes a sudden movement or something, so that I still have time to chicken out, because I'm a good daughter like that. So for this piercing, it was actually different from all my other ones in the sense that a clamp was actually used. All my other piercings that I have never had a clamp before. I know, that's probably poor practice, but I don't really give a shit. Those piercers have been great, and I really don't care if they use a clamp or not. I've been happy every single time, so keep those comments to yourself. The clamp was interesting. Everyone always says, oh wait, let me backtrack that. A clamp was used for my septum. Let me backtrack on that one, but nothing else. Anyhow, everyone always says the clamp hurts. I didn't think it did. It was weird, but it didn't hurt. But anyway, so a clamp was used, and I watched my mom get hers done. My mom takes it like a champ. She clearly has a high pain tolerance because she didn't even, you know, go like, you know, grimace or make any kind of movement. So I really couldn't gauge anything with her. I was like, well, she thought it was fine, so I guess it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I'm in the chair, she's making her mark, she's got the clamp going, and she shoves it through. Well, the actual piercing, and I feel like this is the same with all of my piercings, the actual piercing didn't hurt, but it was the threading of the jewelry that did. Oh my god, that hurt like a son of a bitch. Once again, I don't know if it's just because it's a weird spot or if because mine was tiny, but getting that jewelry through was a bitch. And I just had a simple stud in there, nothing special. But it still hurt like a son of a bitch. Like, the piercing didn't hurt, the jewelry did. I will say, other than my septum piercing, this is the only one that has actually bled. It didn't bleed like crazy like my septum did, but it did bleed, and I'll insert a picture of me in the car right after I got it done because there is some blood in the area, but it's not a lot. So here's the picture. But yeah, so that was the actual experience of getting it done. Nothing big. You know, same with all piercings. They wham bam, thank you ma'am, they're all done. Now the aftercare was a little bit of a bitch. I did develop some kind of, it wasn't a keloid because it was taken care of really easily, But when I did change it out for the first time, there was almost like a blood blister back there. And if that's what a keloid is, then I've been calling piercing bumps the wrong things. And now I feel dumb. But anyway, there was a blood blister and that bled like crazy. Like my tragus piercing, I have to get someone to help me change it because I get all panicky and I'm like, oh my God, it won't go in. I don't know what to do. And so I was panicking the first time I changed it. My mom actually changed it for me and she's sitting there going like, I can't get it back in. I'm like, you just have to shove it. Just put it through. It can't close up. I don't want it to close up. I'm not going through that again. And so finally she took like some tweezers and threaded it through and it was fine. But there was a nasty bump back there when I first changed it out. And so I just did, you know, an extra sea salt soak and it cleared up and it was perfectly fine. And now it doesn't cause me any problems. There's no bumps, which makes me think it's healed. But you know, cartilage piercings can take, you know, a year or more to heal. So it's been about 9 months since I got that piercing. It was like the early part of September of 2016, so we're coming up on 9 months. So, you know, it's doing pretty good. Like I said, it's one of my favorite piercings. But yeah, so if you're thinking about getting your tragus done and you're a little worried about pain, I'll tell you right out, the actual piercing does not hurt. The threading of the jewelry might hurt. Maybe you got a bigger tragus than I do. But otherwise, you know, it's not a bad experience. It's just like any other piercing. It's not bad. And it's super cute. Like this is such a super cute area. And I love this opal that I have in there right now. So yeah, I'm hoping for my next video there will be a new piece of jewelry in there. Some new hardware. I may vlog. The place that I normally go does not allow a video. But I may like do some vlogging on Saturday because that's when we're planning on having it done. I may vlog a little bit on Saturday because there's also like a festival happening nearby that I may vlog at, and then some other fun things. So you never know. You never know. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would appreciate that. If there are any other questions you have pertaining to the tragus or any of my piercings that I have. I'm still contemplating getting my belly button redone. I did have it done about a year ago, but I honestly don't know if it rejected or if it was just a really bad infection. I may actually do a video about my belly button experience because it was bad. It was gnarly. I can't wait to insert pictures for that one because it was gross. Just spit everywhere. Ugh. Sorry. But yeah, if you have any questions about piercings or anything like that, please leave them in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer them. Please don't make fun of the way I say day, doth, whatever. I don't know. People say it differently. I don't know which one's the correct way. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.